the game could see the boxing voice.
Train hard, and Tyson is definitely going to be the next champion of the division, 100%, because confidence is there, and I don't really see much out there in the heavyweight division. What's stopping me? It's a wide open, so I'm going to get the right fights underneath me and make my mark now, and that's it, be following Tyson's footsteps.
Apart from Tyson, if you ignore Tyson, who is the biggest threat out there?
I don't really see much of a threat out there, to be honest with you.
He's had great grounding. When you think about it with you, he's had fantastic grounding. You know, Nick, he's taken him everywhere. He's been fighting all over the place, all over Europe, and getting the wins. And he's been doing it without the benefit of going to Sheffield and getting all those facilities laid on for him from Team UK up there. He's been doing this the hard way, the schools, not getting subsidised by the British taxpayer. He's been doing it himself. And this guy has done it the hard way. And he's coming from a camp. And when you think about the camp that he's coming from, it's had the best preparations over the last couple of years. You know, Tyson Fury has never skimped on, when you think about it, with the sparring partners that they've brought in, and Huey's works with all of them. And he's working with the #1 heavyweight in the world, the linear world champion. And he's a young lad, and he's been working, so he's picking up all that experience, and you cannot buy that. He's done it the hard way. The hard way is the best way, and that's what he's done now. And you know, you've got to take your hat to him. And this is a big moment for him on the 30th. You know, he gets out there, does what I believe he'll do. It then takes him forward within, as I say, within the next 12 months. I'd be very surprised if he's not fighting for a world title, a version of the world title.
He put up a performance, listen, he's done what he's done. Well, let's put it this way, when I fight for a world title, I won't be getting paid to lay me back. So, basically that's what it's come for, payday.
I'd just say, you only have to look at his amateur pedigree, and if you want to go and watch his fights on YouTube in the World Youth Amateur Championships, you know, he's the first fighter from this country to win a heavyweight world title in the youths, and 5 brilliant performances against world-class opposition. Fantastic. Just go and watch it. He weren't gifted one of those. Not one of those in a major event was he gifted a fight. He won them clean, unanimous, won every second of every round. This is the quality of Huey Fury.
Peter, is Huey ready for a world title shot?
Look, he's fighting people that nobody else wants to fight. He's not protected with a promoter. You know, look, I pick his fights. You know, this guy is fighting Fred Castle. Awkward, southpaw, orthodox, leans back. You know, he's got a draw with Ariola, which he beat. So he's learning his job properly. He's learning when he gets in difficult situations. He's learning how to deal with different styles. These opponents are not picked to make Huey look good. These opponents are picked to give him hard work, let him think on his game, and opponents that ain't coming just to be knocked out and say, oh, spectacular. Huey needs to shine when he fights for a world title, and that's when he will shine. This is a young kid coming through, 21. Nobody is where Huey Fury's at. Nobody. For 21 years of age. Excellent pedigree, as Frank and Mick said. You know, he's learning his job properly. So when he does come to fight for a world title, make no mistake, he'll be taking it.
Frank Warren is about to speak. Silence in the room. Go on, Frank. There you go.
Right, we're here today again with Tyson Fury, Mick Hennessy, Peter Fury, John Fury, and you at the end. And we're here today to announce that, as you're all aware, Box Nation will be broadcasting Tyson's first defence of his title against Wladimir Klitschko at the MEN Arena in Manchester, and it will be shown live on Box Nation. We're highly delighted that we've been able to get involved and help and assist at Tyson's challenges in the UK, and he didn't have to go to Germany, and I think that we all worked hard to make sure that happened. And from my point of view, being involved in our channel broadcasting the real heavyweight champion of the world's first defence is a privilege, and we're very proud that it's on the channel. All the guys are here. I know you've got lots of questions to ask, so please feel free to ask them.
Did you try and get a football stadium for that fight?
There is,
If so, would it have filled out Old Trafford, or
they're not available because of they're not available.
is it too near New
Too near the season, so that was the problem, and it was either that or go to Germany. And Mick, I'm sure, can explain it better than I can.
Yeah, as Frank said, the stadiums just weren't available, and sometimes with stadiums there comes a lot of other problems such as costs and production and so on and so forth. I mean, the MEN is the biggest indoor arena in Europe. It's a facility where we can maximise things, and it's always got an incredible atmosphere there. So that was important to Tyson and Peter and myself, to make sure that this is a hell of an event, and it comes across right on TV and with the crowd. So that was part of our decision.
And it holds 6,000 more. There's 6,000 more tickets to sell at the MEN than there is at the O2 in London. So, as Mick said, it's the biggest indoor venue in Europe. So that's why it's happening now.
Tyson, how important was it to you to get the fight in Manchester?
It wasn't very important to get it in Manchester. Not very important, no. It was very important that I wasn't going to go back to Germany. That was the facts. I wouldn't go back to Germany, end of. I don't care what it was offering. I wasn't going to get a decision. That's to knock him out. That'll be an hard thing, but England, it's in England. Wherever it is, I'm not really too bothered. Let's get the fight on. That's all I can say about it, really. It's good that it's in Manchester, but as I'm the Gypsy King, there's no. I don't have an hometown, so wherever I want to go in the world is my own town because I'm a traveller. I travel around the world and I make up my own towns, don't I? Just pull my little trailer upside of someone's garden, make a mess, and then move on to the next place. So that's why they call me the Gypsy King. The king at making mess. Next question.
Tyson, do you think Klitschko will try and do anything different in this fight?
Well, if he don't, he's on for another hiding, isn't he? He's got to come and try and fight, or else he's not going to do anything. He couldn't beat me on his first A game, so he's not going to beat me second time round. I told the world he couldn't beat me. I told the world he was no good. I told them that my boxing ability was too much for any of them. But they don't listen, so I end up with all the belts, don't I? And being the number one fighter on the planet. So there we are. He's got to come and try and do something, hasn't he?
Is David Hayes on your radar at all?
David is a pussy. Don't even mention it. Say that again. That's what he is. Anybody else?
What did you think of Joshua Tyson?
I thought he looked like a pumped up weightlifter, out of his mind on drugs. That's what I thought he looked like. And he fought an American who come to lay down, who had about as much fighting as that glass of water on there, 0. And he wouldn't surprise me if he took a few quid to lay down as well. All these Americans are bums, bum cities. I'll tell you that now. Can't fight. He was bought the title. He was given it. I'm the real champion, me, the Gypsy King. If he can't beat me, then we're not world champions. Listen, without me, he wouldn't have even been a world champion. Joshua or his friend, his play partner, wouldn't have been world champions because they wouldn't have relieved Klitschko the IBF title. It takes a real man to relieve a super champion of his belts, not some weightlifters and some bums who's coming over here for a few more dollars so he can go back home. End of. They can't fight. They're not fighting then. They're bums. Listen, the British public's filled by bums, I'll give you that. But when real men come along like myself, who can fight, talk, walk, dance, sing, shag, whatever you want, I can do it. Right? Is that the man? So none of these men are beating any of the partners, because I'm the king of it all. And if anybody out there want to fight, let's get it on. Simple. You might be brainwashed by some pussy like Eddie Hearn, who can't be 10% of the man I am. I take the back of my hand to Eddie Hearn, slap. You won't be able to do anything about it. So if someone like that can convince anybody that somebody's a king and somebody's a great fighter, then they're just idiots. But in real life, he wouldn't say that because he gets slapped up the ear and he couldn't do nothing about it. He walk away with his hand in his ear like that. Because that's what real men do to bitches, we slap them.
So
That's not bitches, women, so
Sit in your head.
try and interpret that in a different way.
Because listen, don't try and tempt fate twice. Tempt fate twice. One's good enough, and I'm happy with that. Let him come here.
But you've not heard anything to suggest that that would happen, or that's just you?
Listen, I've not heard anything, but let him come here, the German prick.
Nobody thought he would get the decision in Germany. It wasn't a question of winning the fight. I don't think anybody really thought he would have got the decision. Very, very, very rare to get a win out there. And there's quite a few British boxers who, over recent years, who will confirm that. So, you know, it's the result, and why, you know, and I quite agree, why 10th fight?
Are you thinking to go that way, or against Andre Wilder? Because you already officially own the belt that Anthony Joshua.
I did, but listen, the fight I've got to worry about is Vlad, because Vlad's 10 times the amount of any of them world champions. You don't become a super champion and hold the belt for 10 years if you're no good. He might have had an off night. He might have lost on purpose. I might be in for a hell of a hiding on June the 9th, July the 9th. We don't know. We've got to get past him first, so it's no good talking about these other bums until I beat the man who was the man. So I've got to get past him first, and providing I can do that, then I'll fight all of them. They're easy paydays. I'll take up the British ones first, because they're the easiest. I'll leave the Americans till afterwards.
I believe you will beat Klitschko.
Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed and say a prayer for me. Come on.
One thing's for sure, Klitschko can't come here and do what he did last time. He's going to have to come and fight. He's going to have, as soon as that bell goes, he's got to come and fight. He can't have the same tactics as last time. So I think you're going to see a little bit of a special fight. And I think the good thing about Tyson, he can adapt to any style, as he's shown over his last few fights. So it's going to be, I don't think it'll be anything like the last fight. It's going to be a totally different fight together at Wembley. So they haven't got that booked. And even if they did go to Wembley, who is Anthony Joshua going to fight?
I can answer that question.
He's not filling out with Malik.
I can answer the question for him. What we do is, we go to the MEN, right? We charge treble for the tickets, yeah? Treble for the pay-per-view. I'll fight Klitschko first, beat him, then I'll fight AJ and beat him on the same night. So that's his opponent. He'll fight me twice on 2 nights, same night.
He's fighting Malik Scott, so I understand next, but whoever it is, that's not going to fill no stadiums.
Is it Malik Scott a bum?
Malik Scott was beaten by Derek Chisora.
In 5 rounds, stopped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't he shit himself and won't get back up after 9 seconds? Didn't he wait till like 10 seconds to get up?
He was what we call him is a niner. We see one of those the weekend. Yeah. No, he's fighting Malik Scott. Well, that's what I hear. If it's not Malik Scott, who is he going to fight to go on the same night? It's just rubbish. It's a stupid comment to make. It never was going to happen, and it's an insult to the fans and to you guys. You're going to go do both shows. Why would you go there and do that? It's ridiculous. But I think being very sensible. What this is all about today is guys here, and more importantly Tyson. That the show is on at the MEN Arena on the 9th of July. Definitely 100% on that night. And it'll be broadcast. You can't get a ticket because it will be a sellout. It'll be broadcast on Box Nation.
Live and exclusive. Because Sky Sports couldn't afford it. But Box Nation could. So there we are. We're on. Come on, Frank.
We're struggling now, aren't we? We've had to pawn everything to buy the fight, but we did it. And we're very listen. For Box Nation,
you've got to pay for it.
We're cool with that, and that's what we're about. We're a boxing channel, and what we've done with the Amir Khan's fight against Alvarez, we've got the two biggest fights involving British fighters this year, bar none. There aren't too bigger fights than that involving British fighters this year. Real fights, real fights against real challengers or champions. That's what it is, and we're delighted. And we'll be announcing another one next week, which I think everybody's going to be shocked when they hear that one. So, for Box Nation, and I'm here speaking on behalf of Box Nation, we are absolutely delighted. We're going from strength to strength, and we're slowly but surely in our 5th year getting there.
And as an ambassador for and a role model for Box Nation, I'd just like to come on. He's got 2 of the biggest fights. Can I just have the floor for a minute, people, while I just say what I have to say and put everything into perspective from a father's point of view? Eddie Hearn, the ringmaster, because that was a circus act last weekend, as we all know. Let's put it right. You know the reason why you can't get proper interviews here, and it's like games and small talk, because it's a respect thing. When you lot respect my son and give him what he deserves, he gets some proper interviews with proper sense. At the minute, he's toying with all of you, because he's got about as much respect for you lot as you have for him. You know, and I just think it's time you should get behind an homegrown Manchester man who's done the impossible and give him the credit he deserves. So let's put it this way. First of all, the IBF belt. It's a wonder they're not doing jail over it, because it was theft against the person, Tyson Fury. They planned it from word one. They thought, we can't beat Tyson Fury, so we've got to steal the belt so Anthony Joshua can get a world title. And let's put it this way. Anybody who can sell an arena out in minutes, you can look after him. And I'll tell you now, I would back Anthony Joshua in every defence he has, apart from my son, to win. I put my house on it, because he can't lose, because they're running a circus act. Here, there is no circus act, it's the real deal. And does people want to see the real deal? Looking at all yous laughing and joking at bullshit, I'm astounded. You know, you're businessmen, you're meant to be papermen, you're going all around the world and you're playing games like school kids in a playground. Get real, this is the real deal. He's the best heavyweight in the world, and you know what? Good luck to Eddie Hearn. They're brilliant at the job, they've done a fantastic job with him. Listen, if I had him, I'd drop him up cotton wool. He's laying the golden eggs at the minute, and he will be for some time. You know what? Because the public love anything. A con job, they'll get right behind it. And that's what I've said, right from word one. How can anybody take Anthony Joshua's night last night real? Come on. You've been round boxing all his lives. You've reported the most world titles there's ever been, and you can't tell me you don't see a circus act or nothing said about it. You know what? If you come out and you just fell over that kid, you've got behind him, Anthony Joshua's the best in the world. Even the bookies have got the cheek to put Joshua favourite. And who's he fought? I'll tell you who he's fought. Nobody. William White was their only real test he had, look what happened. How has he got from that level to that level in a few weeks? Come on. Say it, you brain. It don't take a lot of working out. This man is heavyweight champion of the world. There's nobody to beat him. Let's hope to keep doing the job with Joshua. I urge the public, and listen to this, make this fight. Get Joshua to get in the ring with my son. It's up to you, public, because Eddie Hearn will never take that fight. The British public, the world has to demand it. But I'll tell you what, that's the long and the short of it, but I'll tell you what, people, show a bit more respect to a king. Not just as a gypsy, forget that. Look into the sport. It's a sport of boxing. Look into that, you know. And believe me, if you think some novice can take my son after the performance he done on half-hearted against Klitschko, he's in dreamland. Let's make this fight as quick as we possibly can. Because I tell you now, see those men, the Deontay Wilders, all the rest of them, they couldn't beat my son on the same night, and he will prove it, because it'll be around years. They're going to make more money than my son. You know why? The public want it that way. Yous want it that way. Let me just say, yes they will, let me tell you. These people here, they want Joshua to defeat you more than life itself. All of you. And I can see through all of you. You're not behind Tyson, because I'll tell you why. We're real people. We say it as it is. And people like that never get any respect. I've been telling back in my life. I know what it is, and I know real men are speaking to them. Not paper, plastic people. So what you're going to have to do is pull your socks up, all of you. And all these interviews here are pointless, because the paying public don't hear bullshit like's going on here. I'm shocked. I've come here today, 4 hours in a car to watch this ping pong game for some schoolboys. Ask some serious questions, show some serious respect, or you'll get some back. You'll get proper inward interviews, not bullshit, wasting people's time.
I don't think he is undervalued though. I think everyone does respect him.
No, they don't, mate. You're having a laugh.
I think you're talking about the mainstream.
You're having a laugh, mate. You know, there's not one genuine question been asked here.
Well, I certainly respect him. I think
well, show it then. Show it. That's the best of the world. Show it to him. Because I tell you that it's a joke from where I'm sitting. This man is the best thing that's ever come off these shores. And has he got any respect? He's not even on no billboards, no quiz games, no nothing. You've got David A, what's a nobody, a blowed up cruiserweight. He's on every billboard, his name's everywhere, he's on every show. Where's my son? Nowhere. Because nobody else will know. You know why? Because it's a racism. That's all it's about. Racism.
He's from the wrong background. If he was out of Peckham Estate, he'd be having tea with the Queen Mother being took round open top bus. Come on, let's get real. You know that, I know that. I'll tell you what it is. There's only real men, and I tell you, they always come from our community, because we're not circus acts. We fight for pride. I've done 12 years for a fight, that's how much pride means to me, an old man. So what's he going to do? He ain't bothered about the money. When he climbs into that ring, his life's on the line, his pride. 300 years, a generation, bloodlines, that's what we're fighting for. Billy Joe Saunders the same way. We're travelling people, we're from the art. And we've been discriminated for 2,000 years, but we're on top today, and I'll tell you now, in the middleweight division we're staying on top, and in the heavyweight division we're here for years. Question. Show a bit of respect. Let's have some proper questions, please. Let's start over again.
John, can I have an example, please?
Right, gentlemen. I don't know what to say. We are where we are, and I've just still.
The sight in the game, 'cause see the